what's up, world? It's your girl, Kelsey Nykole, and you are now tapped in, tuned in to Made Famous TV.
Made Famous TV.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Shamika, and you are now tuned into Made Famous TV. And right now, I am sitting down with the lovely Kelsey Nykole. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, hanging in there. Let's talk about this setup I'm seeing in the background here. Looks like you're in a hair salon. Tell us about that.
Yes. I am a stylist.
Okay.
It has been my bread and butter. And a great skill to have throughout my journey as an artist, and in any film, music, entertainment industry stuff can be very up and down. And being a master cosmetologist, having my license as a stylist has definitely kept me in great places financially, regardless of the hiatuses that might occur pursuing entertainment industry endeavors. So
Absolutely. Now, have you always been into cosmetology even as you were starting music, or is this something that just kind of came along?
Well, I always did hair as a kid. I was the kid doing the boys in the neighborhood's hair. My two oldest brothers, they wore braids, and that was back when like Iverson braids were, a thing, So I would watch one of my older sisters do my brother's hair, and if she wasn't around to do it, I would do his hair, and he'd go out in the streets, and other people would inquire. So that's where it started. And also with me, being a child of 9 siblings, we didn't have the luxury of going to the salon all the time, with a single mother with 10 kids. So I started doing my own hair very early on. Because, I couldn't always get my hair done, and I've always been really creative. And so I would do my own hair, and other people want their hair done. So I started early in my teens, kind of making money doing hair. And it was always a desire for me, because it was an expression of my artistry and being creative as well. So I always enjoyed it. And, so I finally, once I turned about 21, I finally went to hair school. I wanted to do it in high school. They had a program where you can go to school half the day and go to cosmetology school the other half. But we couldn't afford it. So I waited until I was old enough, and I went to Empire Beauty School, got my license, and I've been doing hair ever since.
That's dope. That's dope. You said the 9 siblings, because I was going to ask you about that, because I'm an only child. So I always wondered what it would be like if I had a brother and sister, and you have 9. So tell me what it was like growing up in a household with 9 other siblings.
Well, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. I think it was nice to always have someone there. I think the way my mom laid it all out, it was beneficial for her, to have such older siblings, to look after us when she had to do what she needed to do to make sure we were good. You have those sisterhoods and brotherhood relationships, brothers keeper, sisters keeper relationships. And it was good. I wouldn't take it back. I have a child, and he's an only child, and I see how boring that can be. And I'm happy that I had the opportunity to have a lot of people around. I think it created in me a kind of loner personality, because when there's always something going on, there's this thing in you that always wants to escape. So, coming up in that environment as an adult, I think that I am really, I like my solitude. I like the moments when I am alone, because I went so long with never having a moment of being by myself. And I'm lucky number 7, but I was always the kid. I was kind of always the kid off in the corner playing by herself,
Right.
So yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now, do you stay in close contact with all of them, or do you have some that kind of go off and do their own thing, or are you the one that goes off and does your own thing and like, hey, don't call me, don't bother me today?
Yeah, no, we have a family group, text message group that we all engage in, you know, quite often. We go on family trips every year. I have siblings that are in Texas, and another sibling in another city. She just recently got engaged. So, you know, but we definitely stay in touch. My mother and my father, they always reach out, check up on me. You know, it's a really close-knit family dynamic. Not as close as we could be, but I think closer than most families, especially in the Black community. You know, as our families always sometimes have turmoil, and once we get out as adults, we get out, like we get out. But my family, compared to a lot of families that I know anyway, is pretty close.
Got you. So you're here in Atlanta. Do you have any other relatives here in Atlanta?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I came here as a leap of faith to pursue, you know, the dreams that I had in the hair and entertainment industry. I was that kid. None of my other siblings or family members kind of desired the kind of life that I envisioned and saw for myself very early on. And once things kind of got crazy in my hometown for me, I knew my spirit and my life was really trying to push me out. So, and I realized to a certain point, like if I didn't go, I was going to end up in a lot of trouble. So I left, and it was the best decision I could have ever made.
Absolutely. And the hometown, you're from the Midwest.
Yes, I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Ooh, okay. I've heard some things. Okay, I got you. So how long have you been in Atlanta?
I have been here in the South for 7 years. In March, it made 7 years.
Okay, and how's it been? You like it? Or I know you said it's the best decision, but
yeah, it's had its challenges, but the ATL has been very good to me. God has really sent me here for a reason and a purpose, and it shows, because you know, I know a lot of people that come here and they end up going back to wherever they came, because it gets tough. It gets tough, but you have to have a really solid foundation of faith and a clear vision and bigger picture and purpose, like that keeps you in it. You know what I'm saying? So I've definitely been able to prosper and remain blessed in my journey down here, and I'm very grateful.
And you're very smart in having other things to do. Like a lot of people do come here and they have tunnel vision and they're only focused on one thing, which is the entertainment aspect. But like you said, it can be up and down. So yeah, you got some other stuff going on. So let's talk about this music. How long have you been doing music, Miss Kelsey Nykole?
I started to sing and perform when I was like 7 years old.
Okay.
I would do pageants as a teenager, and my talent, of course, during the talent presentations would always be singing. So I always had a thing. I always, as a really little kid, you know, I always picked up on lyrics fast. I knew every word to every song. I'd have to hear it but once or twice. You know, I always just had a thing for music and performing. Performed for the first time when I was 7, you know, did pageants as a teenager, and I would always, you know, do singing as my talent. And I had a tragedy happen in my family that really drove me to really start to pursue it on a much more serious level. And for the past 10 years, I've been, you know, pursuing the dream of being an artist and entertainer of the masses. For the past couple of years, I've kind of taken a step back a little bit to kind of get myself together, you know, find myself even further personally, and just get a more solid foundation for my own personal life, because coming down here and jumping right into the music and getting the crazy big opportunities that I did get by the grace of God, things went really fast. Very, very fast. And and getting caught in that whirlwind.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the wind starts to subside a little bit,
Oh yeah,
you start to realize how much you kind of don't have.
right. Yes.
And that's where I got to a couple years ago.